Happiness! And welcome back to the Carpenter's Office. It's me, the Happiness Carpenter, and today I'm going to tell you about IMO best work boots. In my opinion, what are the best work boots? As you may or may not know, this is my 40th year in the trades, and I started as a carpenter and been doing carpentry work ever since I was about 18 or 19 years old. And I have been wearing Red Wings the entire time. I do switch around to some Wescos time and again now, which we learned a couple videos ago. And the boots that I wear are right here. Here's a new-ish pair. These are the Red Wing 2233s. If you don't know what the Red Wing Super Sole is, that is your basic Super Sole. It's a non-marking. You know, a lot of black soles will mark floors. We work in people's houses, businesses, white tile floors or VCT tile, different kind of floors. Now it's vinyl plank flooring, and we don't want to put black scuff marks all over. Some cheaper boots you buy will put black scuff marks all over everything. So that is the Red Wing, the famous Red Wing Super Sole. There's a couple variations on that where the design is slightly different, like some cross hatches or something. This one of the Super Sole kind of is the most aggressive and the best, and my favorite. The Red Wing 2233 is made here right here in the U.S. of A. A lot of their work boots are these high Tecmo looking weird things. To me, they look like ski boots or something that are made overseas, and they farm out not only some of the materials but a lot of the build to overseas. These are made right here in Red Wing, Minnesota. I have been through, before I started collecting boots, and I have been in the boot collecting game, I think I started like in 2017 or something. And before that, I had a couple pair of cowboy boots. Everyone kind of from the agrarian background and out here in the West had cowboy boots. Started out as a little kid wearing cowboy boots around with those fake holsters and the little cap guns. We used to have a little drugstore cowboy hat. And cowboy boots were what dress shoes were for me growing up. If you wanted to dress up, you put on cowboy boots. I learned that that's not the way, but I have a pair of Stacy Adams now I wear with one suit. Alligator-looking blue shoes, I don't know. These were the first work boots that I had, and they're the ones I'm still wearing today most of the time. And they retail, I don't think you can buy them through the Red Wing website. I think you got to literally go to a Red Wing store if you want a brand new pair. I think they're $239, something upwards of that, maybe a little bit more now. I think last time I bought them new, they were $239. I don't buy them new anymore. As you know, I get a lot of used shoes. These are used right here. I mean, there is wee little bit of wear on those soles. I don't know if you can see it. It's just some of the little designs are worn out right here. And on like this one here, you can see there's a couple scuffs on the toe. Looks like whoever wore them a little bit and put in some brand new laces, because you could see, look, on the tongue, you can see they're not new. You see right there where there's little marks from the laces and from the eyelets. Someone had worn them 2 or 3 times. So I don't buy them new anymore, and the reason is, and this is a funny thing, I was buying them new and getting them resold, sometimes 3 times resold, wearing them for, I think I might have had a pair 4 or 5 years before. But the resoles went from costing me like $65 or $70, and we're talking, I started wearing these back in the early 80s. So they went from $65, $70 for a resole, and it's nothing sewn. There is like a little fake storm welt there, but this is what you call a cup sole. And they slice that sole off, and they just glue, and with a press overnight, I think, put new soles on there. So there's no sewing involved really for them, but it went up to like $130 to $150 now. So, that's half the price of a pair of boots. The issue is some guys have a problem with steel toe. It kind of, maybe you're not your big toe, but your second toe. Some guys' toes kind of sticks up a little bit above the rest like that, and it hits the steel toe. Some guys aren't comfortable with steel toe. I love them, and I was talking to one of you the other day, you know who you are, about steel toe, and I would have every boot I own a steel toe. To me, a steel toe, that's like having a hammer. It's like wearing two hammers on your feet, and they're very useful for us in the trades when we do heavy construction. Um, but what I do instead of having them resold is I'll just buy them off of eBay. I probably got these off of eBay for, I don't know, $100 or less. You can get them anywhere on eBay, newish, not used very much, anywhere from $80 to $120 is around the range that I pay for them. And sometimes it's a guy who got a job and they required steel toe and maybe he quit, or somebody had a new pair in their closet and passed away or retired and didn't need them anymore. And so that's how you get them, and that's how I get them. And these, for me, these shoes, they're not super aggressive like that. That's not a heavy tread, but not like the Vibram Lug Sole Vibram 100. I'm not in the woods, and these ones don't. I mean, when they're brand new, they can pick up some tiny rocks, but they don't pick up rocks. You pick up rocks in those lug soles, and they'll scratch people's floors and stuff. These are the best for me for working on concrete. They're pretty soft. But what I was saying about the steel toe is, sometimes it gives me pinky toe problems right here when I first start. These will take me now. Most of my heritage style boots, and I know guys are complaining about break-in, they don't really give me too much of a problem. I think my Flame Pandas are one of my hardest to break in. I'd say out of all the over 100 something pairs I got, there's only 2 or 3 that require a break-in. But these take, I don't know, maybe a month or more to really break in. And after that, they're like your old baseball glove. They are so comfortable. When I go on vacation, I can't wait to get back and get my feet in my old broken in Red Wing 2233s. So I just buy them off of eBay, and that's the way I do it now. And I throw them away. I actually slice and slice and slice and cut the steel toes out, and save them now, just in case I want a pair of boots rebuilt with steel toe, or want a pair built with steel toe, and they don't have access. I know these are good steel toes in the Red Wings. So these are the 2233s. Here they are. That is what I wear. I'm getting ready to put this pair on. This pair over here is not the pair I'm wearing right now. It's just an example. But this pair I'll put on, and I'll probably get about 1.5 years out of these. They're 8-inch. There's the top is it's not cut raw. There's a little coping around the top, and looks like whoever gave these put brand new laces back in for me. They have another boot that a lot of the police and fire wear. I think it's a 4473, something like that, and it is black, and it's pretty much exactly the same boot, except instead of, this has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 eyes, 4 speed hooks, and 1 eyelet right there. I think those station boots, the black ones that are just like this, I think they're eyelets all the way, and I'll tell you why, because those guys lace in those zippers, those speed zippers, and what that is a leather assembly with a zipper in the middle, and it actually laces in to the eyelets all the way up, so they can just unzip and get them on and off quickly. These come, the insole, you can't see that, but the insole, I don't know what it is. It's not a memory foam, because this stuff lasts a really long time, but it's almost a 1/4 inch thick in there. I wear the Red Wing moldable insoles. They're about $50. They're kind of like your mouth guard if you were a football player. You put them in some hot water, and then I think you put them in your boots and stand on them. I don't do that, or heat them up, or in the microwave. I don't know what they do. I don't think it's hot water. I think they microwave them or something. But I don't, or put them in the oven. But I don't do that. I don't heat them up. I just put them in there, and the heat from your foot molds them. But at first, I can't wear those insoles. They're too tight, and so I will wear them without the insoles until after the break-in. And then when I start feeling a little hardness on the bottom of my feet, then I'll put those moldable insoles in there. And I just kind of, those $50 insoles, they may be more than that now, they take a long time to wear out. Sometimes I'll have them longer than the boots and switch them to the next pair of boots. But that is what I wear. In my opinion, these are the best work boots for heavy construction, light to heavy construction. And I don't feel safe or comfortable unless I have steel toe work boots on. And those are the ones that I prefer. Now, For those of you guys that think I never wear out boots, this is why I'm so careful with my all my boot collection. I am the destroyer of boots. After I wear through that, we're on our knees a lot, and I wear, like I told you before, I wear those little girl volleyball knee pads. After I wear through the leather on the toe all the way to the steel, the problem with that is that it becomes a water leak, and they'll take them and they'll put that shoe goo on them. They'll dip that shoe goo. This is a pair that I actually may have even had resoled at one time. This is how it looks when I'm done with it, when it's already hurting my back. Look at the heel drag that I have right there. That's my heel drag. Not as defined on the left boot, but on the right boot, massive amount of heel drag. When they get like that, it's time to go. How I notice is my lower back starts hurting a little bit, and I'll look at the bottom of my shoes and say, ooh, I went a little bit too far. Sometimes with the more vintage type pairs now, I think I had a pair of 4412s that are just like this, but they have a lining and they don't make them anymore. And I didn't, because I make my guy do the harder work now, my worker. I don't wear out the toes all the time anymore. So those were in pretty good shape, and I sent them to my cobbler and had a Vibram camo looking wedge sole put on those. But when they're in this shape, I just kept this for reference. And at one time I was trying to get into the Red Wing Wall of Fame. I don't even think they read my letter. I'm not going to try that anymore. But this is one of the last pairs that I completely thrashed, had resoled, shoe gooed. And that's how they look when I'm done with them. And that's what is a worn out pair of boots for me. And so when you think that I don't wear out any boots, you can just think about that. That is the Red Wing 2233. I love them. In my opinion, they are the best work boot for light, medium, and heavy construction and homes and commercial businesses. Not so much for linemen, loggers, or guys that are always outside. You may, climbing around in hills and stuff like that. You may need a different boot. Hey, look, I'm wearing a Happiness Carpenter shirt. We got a new patch. California State Parks patch is what some of them are having now. If you buy one, I don't have them installed on all of them, but this will be sent with it, and you can put it on. The Happiness Carpenter patch is still available for $10. I will mail it anywhere in the world to you for $10. And then the shirt itself is $165. $165, and I'll split shipping with you. But that's what I got as far as what I'm selling as the Happiness Carpenter paraphernalia and stuff like that. And today, I'm not going to give you some of my own philosophy. I'm gonna read you something, and don't hang up or tune out. Before I say that, hey, I'm doing pretty well. I think there's like 1,200 of you subscribers now, and I'm trying to give you guys kept asking for more and more content, and I'm trying to give you a video every weekend. And so if you haven't already liked and subscribed, I know everyone says like and subscribe. I think it helps because my channel's moving pretty slowly in the growth. So give me likes, subscribe to it. You don't have to watch every single thing I do if it's a topic you're not interested in or a boot you don't want to see. But give me a like and a subscribe if you can. It really helps me out. But what I'm going to do, stay with me, stay tuned in. I'm going to read to you. And it's out of a really good book, and it's quicker than most of my philosophy. And just stick with me. Okay, so this book, this one letter difference. This is called The Prophet. Okay, it was written by a gentleman. Is that upside down? Sorry. Called Khalil Gibran, also known as Gibran. He was a person that was born in Lebanon and immigrated with his family to the Boston area of the United States, I think when he was about 12 years old, and went to school in the United States. And he is one of my favorite authors. He has written in different languages. I have read everything that has been translated or written in English. He's got many books. They're short. They're not super big. If you want to read a book, man. Don't look at your phone all the time. Read a book, please. But you see what I'm saying? It's not, you can read that, you know. So what I'm going to do is read to you an excerpt of this book, and it's called The Prophet. It was published in 1923. This book, what I'm going to read to you, is 101 years old. I think this is the 4th or 5th edition. The Prophet is about a guy, a cat in the old days, who lives in a city, and like Jesus said, a prophet is never welcome in his own hometown. You know, people don't want to, you got wisdom and stuff. My neighbors, they probably just think I'm a goofball. They don't. They love me. But, you know, people don't always want to hear what you have to say, and when they know all the details about you, sometimes they don't even want to think that you might know anything. And we all have different parts of wisdom, and we all got something to share. This guy lived in this town, and if you know anything about, you know, history, ships would come into these ports. I'm sure this was in the Mediterranean portrayed, but ships would come into these ports every couple of years. So if you heard the expression in English, he was waiting for his ship to come in, you know, waiting for the right girl or something. That means literally that the ship would be months, years, sometimes till it came back, the particular ship going to take you to the place you needed to go. So this guy was waiting for his ship to come in. And when he finally saw it there in the distance with the flag, the ship that he knew was going back to his homeland, these people had never asked him anything about this holy man, anything about his wisdom or anything. But when that ship started coming and he started packing his stuff, they wanted to know. Tell us about love. Tell us about children. Tell us about families. Tell us about work. And so I'm going to read you just a small excerpt about what he said about work. Then a plowman said, "Speak to us of work." And he answered, saying, "You work that you may keep pace with the earth and the soul of the earth. For to be idle is to become a stranger unto the seasons, and to step out of life's procession that marches in majesty and proud submission towards the infinite. When you work, you are a flute through whose heart the whispering of the hours turns to music. Which of you would be a reed, dumb and silent, when all else sings together in unison? Always you have been told that work is a curse and labor a misfortune. But I say to you that when you work, you fulfill a part of the earth's furthest dream, assigned to you when that dream was born. And in keeping yourself with labor, you are in truth loving life. And to love life through labor is to be intimate with life's inmost secret. And what is it to work with love? It is to weave the cloth with threads drawn from your heart, even as if your beloved were to wear that cloth. It is to build a house with affection, even as if your beloved were to dwell in that house. It is to sow seeds with tenderness and reap the harvest with joy, even as if your beloved were to eat the fruit. It is to charge all things you fashion with the breath of your own spirit, and to know that all the blessed dead are standing about you and watching. I have labored these 40 years, and it is a joy. Repetitive motion tasks that I know you construction guys and a lot of you craftspeople know. It's the doldrums of doing repetitive motion tasks for hours and days is just unconscionable. But you begin to think about things and blessings, and I sing and I whistle and I thank God and I pray, and the hours go by and I go to a different place and I look at what I've done, and it is beautiful. And it wasn't always me. So when you work as if the blessed dead are standing around you and watching. Happiness and love from the Carpenter's Office. Thanks for tuning in.